Okay, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing two subjects again. We'll be discussing Pre Algebra and history. So, today in Pre Algebra we'll be talking about three of the properties of algebra, three mathematical properties. The first one we're going to be talking about is the distributive property. So I've said this before many times, I've showed it before many times, but the distributive property is basically just where you distribute something inside a set of something else in parentheses, such as that. 5, distribute the 4 times you distribute the 5 into the 4 times 2. And then you would get 5, and you get 20 times 10, which is just 200, because you're adding a 0 on the end. So your answer would be for that one is 200. The next one we're going to be talking about is the commutative property of addition and multiplication. So, the commutative property can be used for addition and multiplication, while the distributive property can only be used for multiplication, because when you distribute something, you're multiplying it. So, yeah. Anyway, the commutative property now. So, say you have 5 plus 8 plus 5, and the commutative property basically says to you that order doesn't matter when you're using addition or multiplication. But if you're using subtraction or division, then order definitely does matter, because depending on your order, you will get a different sum. So in this case, I just switched up the order to, so your original one is 5 plus 8 plus 5, or you can do 5 plus 5 plus 8, or 8 plus 5 plus 5. Like I said, order does not matter. Same thing, if you were to do 7 times 6, you can also do 6 times 7 and get the same answer, or 88 times 4, you could also do 4 times 88 and get the same answer. It's just saying basically that the order does not matter. The order of your numbers does not matter. Okay. So next one we're going to talk about is the third and final one we're going to be talking about is the associative property. So the associative property basically says that whatever numbers you associate or group does not matter. Your grouping does not matter. This is the associative property of addition. So I have that. So you have in your parentheses, you have 77 plus 2 in parentheses, and then you have in the end plus 3. So in that case, you solve what's in the parentheses first, and you get 79 plus 3, and that equals 82. Same thing, you can do 77 plus, and then you have in your parentheses 2 plus 3, and then you have 77 plus 5, and then 77 plus 5 equals 82. So in the end, you still get the same answer. So we'll move on real quick to the next subject. So we'll talk about some history real quick. So in history, in the beginning, as we know, we were all farmers and foragers in the beginning. We didn't really, we hunted, but we relied more on farming and foraging, because that's kind of where we got most of our food from, and it was kind of an easier source than hunting, because at the time we weren't experts at hunting. So, in the beginning of Era 2, modern humans started to form, as well as, kind of modern ideas. So we relied more on foraging and more on farming than we did on hunting. Writing did not exist, so at the time we didn't really know. We couldn't depict what they did back then. The only way to depict what they did back then is artifacts that we found, such as paintings or tools they may have used, or writing symbols on cave walls, cave art, as you've seen. Okay, forgive me on the pronunciation of this, but it's not very easy to pronounce. Çatalhöyük, I think is what you say. But Çatalhöyük is one of the very first ever farming and foraging villages. Çatalhöyük is, hold on, let me see if I can... Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to adjust the brightness real quick, the brightness level. Not that one. That one, I think. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Çatalhöyük is one of the earliest farming villages, and in the village they relied a lot on trade, and the trade was mostly their biggest trade partner was the foragers outside of the village, and the foragers' biggest trade partner was the farmers inside of the village. So, towards the beginning of Era 2, all American, all not American, all people lived in Africa at the time, and then at the end of Era 2, everybody spread out into different parts of the world, every part of the world, which is known today as Asia, Europe, Australia, still in Africa. Some people still stay in Africa. North America, South America, and Antarctica. They spread everywhere throughout the world, at all 7 continents. So in the Çatalhöyük village, there was a painting on one of the walls in the house that kind of depicted something that we're still trying to figure out what it meant. We don't know if it was just art or if it was supposed to be a volcano, an erupting volcano, and the houses on the street level. We're still trying to figure that one out, but in my opinion, if it was an erupting volcano, then the erupting volcano you think would have destroyed the whole village. So in my opinion, I think it's just art. I don't think it's an erupting volcano. But that's pretty much going to do it for the end of this video. Thank you again for watching. I'll have another one for you guys in 2 days' time. Car going down the road. Thank you though, God bless, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace out.